Hi, good morning. Well, this is the second State of the Province address that Premier Zamani Saul will, of course, deliver outside of the capital or where the legislature building is in Kimberley. Of course, here there's a lot of excitement from residents in this town in Calivinia, and they are hoping that he will focus on bread and butter issues. Of course, they're complaining about housing. This town where we are has a lot of water issues as well, and so a lot of youth unemployment as well. Let's speak to the MEC for youth, fairly new MEC in this cabinet. MEC, a lot of youth unemployment that the Premier focused on last year. Be sure to see that again.
Good morning, and good morning to your listeners, and thank you for having me. Look, the State of the Province address seeks to do primarily that. We're here today to report on the progress we've made as government in terms of the commitments we made last year, but we're also here to share with the public, especially those from the Northern Cape, on what our plans are for the Northern Cape, and one of which is youth unemployment. You would know that the Premier has appointed just newly, I think it's about 3 or 4 months now, the MEC in his office to primarily focus on youth, women and persons with disabilities. And this is because he wanted to strengthen the provincial government on that front, because there was a lot of work that was done, but it was uncoordinated. So he will be making that announcement as well today, and will also be outlining the objectives of this ministry in terms of addressing those issues, especially youth unemployment.
Your plans, because we do youth unemployment, as you know, is a real big problem. You've been in the ministry now for a couple of months, a quarter.
Yes.
What are your plans?
Look, this is an issue we can't resolve alone as government. So what we've done so far is engaged with all these investments that are coming into the province, one of which is your Buchu Bay project, which looks at employing about 8,600 people in its construction phase, but also about 2,600 permanent employees. So what we are trying to do as a minister is to ensure that young people, women and persons with disabilities are mainstreamed in all these investments that are coming into the province. There's a certain quota that is set aside to say this will be the quota that addresses issues of young people, this will be a quota that addresses issues of women and issues of people living with disabilities, because if we don't do that, really you can't effectively address this issue. But one of the things we're doing as well is engaging with the mines. There's a lot of programs they're doing around young people, but they're not reported programs. So we're engaging with them in terms of understanding what it is they're doing for young people, but also how best they can expand, because this is really an issue we can't resolve alone as government. So we've been doing a lot of stakeholder engagements to see how best we can come together in addressing this issue.
You've been around here, you've seen how the people live in this area, water, unemployment, health, access to health services. In terms of the validation of the issues of these people and provincial government's response?
Yes. Look, again, it's not an issue that the provincial government can sort out alone. It's an issue that needs local government to come into the party as well. And that's where we really need to strengthen ourselves. We need COGTA to come in and ensure that the municipalities are actually delivering on what they need to deliver. Because if we're to look there's solely as provincial government alone, then we won't reach to an extent that we want to reach. Yes, and especially I've actually also managed to engage young people from this area. And you know, the cry is always the same: unemployment, lack of economic opportunities, not being mainstreamed, not being able to participate in whatever activity that seeks to bring life to this area. So what we've been doing, we came here on Monday. We are busy in the office with an integrated youth development strategy that will focus on resolving issues of young people of the Northern Cape, specifically a tailored strategy that looks at young people of the Northern Cape. So what we did also was to say we don't want to sit in the office and do this alone, come with a strategy, and when we go down to the ground, it's a strategy that doesn't speak to young people. So what we've been doing is running consultation processes so that we come up with a solution that is inclusive of their ideas as well, of how best they think. As young people of Calivinia, as young people of Loresfontein, how do you think your needs need to be attended to? So it's a collaborative effort that we're trying that will be inclusive of everyone's ideas and everyone's efforts.
Thank you very much. MEC Venus Blemis, she's of course the MEC for Youth, Women, plus people with disability and e-government, of course talking about the State of the Province address that is due to be delivered by Premier Zamani Saul at 11 o'clock.